right. We made a movie called Not Evil, Just Wrong, The True Cost of Global Warming Hysteria.
It's about the true cost of global warming hysteria. It's about how is this hysteria going to affect ordinary working Americans? Is the science settled? And we look at a lot of flaws in this global warming science. We also then look at, say, is the cure worse than the disease? How is this going to affect working people in the developed world and people in the developing world as well, with increased energy prices, with it harder to heat houses and keep factories running? Is this going to close factories? Just as we're facing one of the biggest recessions in many years, people seem to be saying we should push energy prices up, we should make it more difficult to manufacture and create things, and we should condemn the people of the third world to a pre-industrial past that will take away all the benefits that we have of industrialization.
We have met parents in this country who've had their children see it 4 times in classrooms, but a parent in Britain, where that film was also being imposed on children, took a high court action, which we cover in our film, and took the high court action saying this is not science, this is politics. And the High Court in London upheld the decision that the film was flawed and had 9 significant errors and exaggerations. And I think it's quite important and it's quite interesting and sad that CNN and the New York Times didn't decide to cover that story, even though the High Court in London decided that film was flawed and shouldn't really be shown in schools.
The High Court said that An Inconvenient Truth has 9 significant errors and exaggerations in the science. So I mean, it really makes it an interesting film about Al Gore's family, but the science then just falls to pieces under this verdict.
And as you say, I mean, it's an hysterical kind of film. It uses images, for example, of flooding that are caused nothing at all to do with global warming, but kind of puts these images together with this kind of crazy rhetoric that he uses, and makes people panic and hysterical, and makes people think that suddenly this is going to destroy us. This is called CO2. CO, which is carbon monoxide, is actually a pollutant. It's this, people kill themselves in their cars using that stuff. CO2 is what we push into greenhouses to make things grow. CO2 is a good thing. It's a life force.
It creates biodiversity. I mean,
it's a really good thing.
If you want places with lots of biodiversity, you need heat and you need CO2, like around the equator. That's where you go. Further north you go, biodiversity crumbles. So, but this film is looking at how what is going to be the true cost. I mean, it's okay for us here on the coast, so maybe we're a bit more comfortable. We do work. We don't have sweat. We never sweat unless we're in the gym. But there's people out there who really work in factories and in manufacturing, and they need cheap energy. And if we take that cheap energy from them, the jobs will just go to China or India. Global warming legislation, it's a stimulus bill for China, and a recessionary bill for America.
We do look at the science, but we also look at ordinary people, and we go to Vivi, Indiana, and we speak to ordinary families there whose lives will be devastated if Al Gore gets his way. I mean, what Al Gore, just to remind viewers as well, I mean, what Al Gore wants to do is to completely stop the use of fossil fuels in America in 10 years. I mean, this is completely crazy. And it's interesting that he doesn't debate. He won't debate, and the reason he won't debate is there isn't an answer to this. Yeah.
I mean, we look at a family in a place called Vivi, Indiana, and that we look at how wonderful their life is at the moment. They have children and they want to get ahead in life, and everyone wants that for their children. And then we say, well, what's going to happen if energy prices go up? And these people will be plunged into poverty. Even low-paid jobs like in fast food and that are dependent upon a manufacturing class, people who earn good salaries, to buy the fast food. There won't even be fast food jobs left if these factories are closed down and manufacturing migrates to China and India more so than it has.
No, we're hoping that it'll be out in about the next 2 to 3 months. We're trying to get it into malls. We're trying to get it into the theatres across America. We'd ask people to go on our website, notevilJustWrong.com, and help us get that message out.
Yeah, we're looking for funding. We want to make it the people's film. I mean, Al Gore doesn't want you to see this film. Hollywood, of course, doesn't want you to see this film. But we're asking for donations on our website, notevilJustWrong.com.
And we've had donations from all over America. We had a guy just last week who sent us $100, said he's losing his job, and he said, please use my money wisely, and we will. We want this to be in every cinema, in every town across the States.
And then every school. Because we think that there at least should be a debate in schools, not just both sides.